2018, back when Riven was up on the docket and we were all grinding out so we could get ready for Last Wish, Destiny was at its most brutal in terms of grind. And it was back to the way that things were in the very beginning, and it was hardcore, hardcore, hardcore from the very beginning, day one. Right? And there was so much that we all needed to get done. That was the content that burned me. And I literally took a break after this because it pushed me to my limit. You know, like I sat there and one day I tried making content and I just couldn't do it. I could not bring myself to make content. Now, there's a very similar gap in terms of the total light level you need between where you started the expansion and where you need to be for the raid. The difference is Bungie's made getting there a whole lot easier. The number of people who I've seen who do not need to play 3 characters to get to the raid-ready light level is fantastic, you know? Like, Bob, in my raid team, he has just hit 230 base. He's going to be ready. He hasn't done all his powerfuls yet. Admittedly, he grinded a lot of competitive to get to where he is, but even so, he's been able to get all of that done on a single character, and they've given us a week and a half to get ready. And that means that it's a much friendlier grind. As a result, combine that with contest, and I think that this day one is going to be the fairest day one with the most competitive teams out there that there have ever been. And I think that's exactly where the raid should be. There are going to be teams that always rise to the top, but in this instance, I feel like they have taken all the previous lessons and done it correctly. And for those of you who are sitting there and playing it all the time and who are grinding it super hardcore, I'm actually with you there. And I have my own reason to do that because I want to make sure that I'm ready for any future content so that I can make videos on it more expediently. But it's okay to take a break is what I think the lesson here is, you know? This is a moment where we can say that there is a happy medium between the Destiny has no content phases and the I have so much content I'm swimming up to it and I can't breathe. You know, like there is a happy medium and I think we are there basically. And that's a very good place to be for an endgame player. So yeah, I'm totally with you on this one, Andrew. I'm totally with you.
Yeah, I think the level grind, as much as I'm not personally a fan of the just the kind of how similar the level grind has been from, it's pretty much the same in 2020 as it has been throughout Destiny. It hasn't changed much, but I do think it's gotten a lot just more streamlined and more clean. Like I would like to see the entire leveling. It's one of those Destiny 3 too complicated things. It'll probably never happen, but I would like to see the level system kind of reimagined so it's not the same kind of grinding blues and then dump all your gear and infusing, but that's just a nitpick. But I do think it's definitely worth noting the level grind is a lot more streamlined than it was. Like you mentioned the Last Wish grind and being completely burnt out on that, and absolutely the same. Like the RNG. I'm so like, can we just appreciate how RNG has been pretty much mostly removed from the level grind. It used to be brutal. Like we're talking, we would do a raid team and there would be 6 of us. We would all play
this man would never get gloves.
But it's just like, it's out of your control, and 6 of us could play the exact same amount of activities, the same amount of time, yet 2 of you, which is just how probability works. 2 of you will end up being significantly higher level because you just get lucky. 2 of you will end up significantly lower because you'll get unlucky and you'll never get gloves. And some of you will probably end up around the middle. And there's also the Oracle glitch, which definitely messed up a lot of things. But it was just it was frustrating knowing that you're putting in all this time and effort into a grind, and it's kind of a dice roll what level you'll end up by the end of it. So that was extremely frustrating, and I appreciate that it's not there now. Like the level grind is simple. RNG is very fair. It's the game can tell when you're missing gloves or a rocket launcher. It'll give you a drop. It doesn't seem like back in the day before, but pretty much mostly around Forsaken, you could just feel that like I need this one item to be a level, and it was
fighting against the 1 in 8.
It just wasn't. The game gave you no bone, but now it feels like that isn't there. That kind of that cruel RNG isn't there, which I guess that was a big part of Destiny Year 1. But I'm glad it doesn't exist. So while the leveling system isn't perfect, it is a lot more streamlined, and I do massively appreciate that. It's just like, it's. You got your Gambit, your Strikes, your Crucible, you got your Powerfuls, your Pinnacles. It's kind of, it's streamlined. I like it.